Sun shining on my head. Farewell, fellow servant. I'm going away to leave you. Gotta leave the old county. I'm sold off to Georgie. Gotta leave my mama and my papa. My brother and my sister.
Talking about getting a new chemical. So get him in. Oh, it's all right, child. It's all right.
It's, James, your name is Toby. I want to hear you say it. Your name is Toby. You're going to learn to say your name. Let me hear you say it. What's your name?
Kunta Kinte.
When the master gives you something, you take it. He gave you a name. It's a nice name. It's Toby. And it's going to be yours till the day you die. Now, I know you understand me, and I want to hear it. Again! I want to hear you say your name. Your name is Toby. What's your name?
Kunta.
What's your name? Say it. Cut him down.
Right, so I like to say Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Barak Yahweh, Barak Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rakah HaKadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS, and salutation to you brothers out there that's doing this work in truth and sincerity. This is the book of Deuteronomy 32:7. Remember the days of old, consider the years of many generations. Ask thy father, and he will show thee, thy elders, and they will tell thee. And, you know, you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, you tend to forget that you were in a yoke of iron. You were being hung, right? You were being burnt alive. You were being raped, right? You tend to forget these things was happening to you by the enemy that you smile in the face every day like he's your buddy, your pal, your best friend, right? You tend to forget that you was being whipped. And like I said, there's history out there on it for not only the so-called Blacks, but the Hispanics and Native Americans. You know, with the Native Americans, he also beat you until you learned his education, his so-called education, right? Beat your true heritage out of you. Same thing with you Hispanics. You know, it was stated that when he had you in captivity, you know, that you almost went extinct. I quote that, you know, because scripture says for Israel is the sands of the sea. So you need to remember that, man. You need to remember the days of old, because what this devil's trying to do, he wants to get rid of history, right? He don't want to get rid of 9/11, right? He don't want to get rid of something that happened to these so-called white people, right? But when it comes down to you so-called Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans, he want to throw that shit under the rug. So you need to remember that you're still in captivity to this very day. You might not be in physical chains, but you right now are in mental chains, right? The scriptures tell you in the book of Baruch 3:8, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So we're yet this day in our captivity. Like I said, you might not be in a yoke of iron, carrying around iron, or out there working in the cotton fields, but you still got so-called Hispanics working in the cotton fields today. You know, there's was times where when I worked for a company and I'll drive by the cotton fields or the fields period, and who would I see? I see Hispanics working out there. You know, so even this day, you're still in captivity. You know, when I go to these construction sites, I see the so-called Mexicans busting their ass and breaking their backs, why the so-called white man is the taskmaster, telling them what to do and how to do it or whatever. So you need to understand, like the scripture says in Baruch 3:8, behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payment, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power. So you need to understand, you know, why are we in captivity? Well, that's Isaiah 5:13. Isaiah 5:13 tells you, therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, because you have no knowledge. Because true knowledge comes right out of these scriptures, man. But you insist on making this place, America, this wicked kingdom, your sanctuary, instead of making the Lord Yahweh Shai your sanctuary. Therefore my people are gone into captivity, because they have no knowledge, and their honorable men are famished, and their multitude dried up with thirst. So let me grab this real quick. This is Salakia. This is the book of Chronicles, 2 Chronicles 29:9. It says, for lo, our fathers have fallen by the sword, and our sons and our daughters and our wives are in captivity for this. So for you being destroyed, for the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of Yahweh Shah, we are yet this day in our captivity. You know, you're yet this day in captivity, man. You know, the scripture says, you shall be sold to the nations, not for your destruction. Matter of fact, let's get it. That's Baruch, the 4th chapter. This is Baruch 4:6. It says, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto the enemy. Right? That's why the scriptures tell you in Deuteronomy 28:68, it says, ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen, which is slave men and slave women, bondwomen. So it says, you were sold to the nations, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, ye were delivered unto the enemy. For ye provoke him that made you by sacrifices unto devils, and not to the Most High. You have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and ye have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the Most High coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell about Sion, the Most High hath brought upon me great mourning. For I saw the captivity of my sons and daughters, which the everlasting brought upon them. With joy did I nurture them, but sent them away with weeping and mourning. Let no man rejoice over me, a widow and forsaken of many, who for the sins of my children am left desolate, because they departed from the law of the Most High. Right, so there you go. That's why your ass in captivity. Right, that's why you're mentally destroyed. This is why these things had to happen unto you. Right, we can play this over a little bit. Right, you know, this is why these things have happened unto you. Why? Because you decide to move the Most High to wrath, move him to jealousy, right? By worshiping these damn false idols, right? By going about doing your own thing, and this is what brought you into this this situation. So it says 13, they knew not his statutes, nor walked in the ways of his commandments, nor trod in the paths of discipline in his righteousness. Let them that dwell about Sion come and remember ye the captivity of my sons and daughters which the everlasting have brought upon them. For he hath brought a nation upon them from far, a shameless nation, and of a strange language, who neither reverence old man nor pity child. These have carried away the dear beloved children of the widow, and left her that was alone desolate without daughters. So there you go, you know. So these things was brought upon you because of your wickedness, man. Plain and simple. Right, but other than that, Lord willing, that was edifying. I want to say Barakatah Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. Shalom.